everyone. It is a beautiful day here today, and I thought it would be a perfect time to try a little outdoor painting. We're gonna work in maybe an impressionistic style, which I'm gonna introduce you to just some ideas, but really you could do this any way you want to. Before we start, let's do our 3 deep breaths as we always do. Here we are, ready? Feels so good. Okay, I started a couple little examples just to give you some stages, but again, try this any way you want to. I'm using some watercolors that I have from the tubes, but you could also use just a simple watercolor set. If you don't have that at home, you could do chalk pastels, you could do pencils, this could even just be, you could even use coffee. But hopefully you can gather some materials, and I'm going to show you, I started with just a wet blend of my background. Remember, we've done this before with a wet blend. You can just wet your whole paper down and then blend in sort of all the background colors. That's my first step I'll show you. Then I went to sort of mapping out my composition. I have a big willow tree in the back where I'm looking at, so I kind of painted that in just real roughly. Now remember, with the Impressionistic style, you're not trying to get this to be a very realistic, detailed piece. With Impressionism, Monet started this in 1870. He wasn't popular at all. This style was brand new. Before this, it was very realistic. But he opened up this whole new world of just laying colors down, and your eye lets these colors blend together when you back off from the piece. It puts it all together in an impressionistic style, an impression of something, a moment in time. He loved to study light at different times of the day, and that's another thing I've been doing. I've been looking at this same willow tree at different times of the day. So just pick a spot at your house, or even if you don't have a spot that you like, or you're indoors, you could pick an impressionistic painting and follow that. It's always wonderful to look at the masters and get inspiration from them. Okay, let me show you really quickly how I started. Right here, this first one is the wet blend. I just did a wet blend of like sky and grass. Then I quickly just mapped out the tree. Okay, and as you can see, I've got these kind of watercolors, but you could, if you have liquid watercolors, that wet blending technique is really bright and vibrant, or you may have a set something like this. Whatever you have, it'll work. Okay, now my subject matter is my creek behind me and that beautiful willow tree. Okay, so I am just gonna paint for a little while here, and then I will finish it up. This is, you can see where I was when I stopped that last step. Just put the tree in, and then I'm just gonna show you like kind of my version of adding some of the branches and maybe even a little bit of the creek behind it. And then I'll just stop it and I'll finish this later, and then I hope you will try it and send me pictures. Okay, here we go. So I'm just sort of looking at adding some of the green now, the different green at the top. So remember, with Impressionism, you can be very loose and light. And really, I like the way you can just dab the colors on. The colors sit next to each other, and this is what makes it feel like just an impression, and not really painting every single leaf. Okay? Go over the branches. Again, you want to look for parts that there's maybe where the sun is hitting, there's a highlight to the branch, to the leaves. I'm noticing like sort of towards the top where the sun is hitting it. We've got more of the lighter. And I'm also noticing, because it's a willow, some of the branches look like they're coming down, and some are standing up. I mean, again, you could spend so much time getting a variety of depth in your branches, in your leaves, and keep adding and adding and on to it. Okay, again, just giving an impression of this beautiful tree. Keep going. And I love how colors can sit right next to each other. I'm ready when I get some darker in there. You know, Van Gogh used to build the color up so thick that I don't know if you've ever stood next to one of his paintings in a museum where it was so thick it comes off the canvas in a deep layer. Of course, they used oil painting, and I am pretty sure that it's hard to have a set of oil paints at home, and so I'm thinking, well, you could do this with watercolors, you could do this with chalk pastels, and let the colors just blend and build up. And again, any way you want to do this is really, there's no real wrong way. You can be, I love looking at Monet's work and how light, he would show light just by using light and colors and layering them and dabbing. So you're just doing an impression, okay? Now, I am going to stop here because I don't want you to have to sit all afternoon and watch me. I want you to get to work. I want you just to start playing around. You know, there's different things down in the grasses. There's shadows. Don't forget about the shadows going across down into the yard. And again, you can do this with just simple brush strokes, adding to it. This is the shadow of the tree going further and further and further. Okay, so I'm going to stop here, and I'm just going to have some fun continuing on with my impressionistic willow tree in my backyard, and then I want to see yours when you finish, okay? Enjoy. Miss you. Bye.